Coach don't
I
like
like Guardians. I'm okay with Guardians. I like Guardians.
He don't like none of the good ones. He like all the trash ones.
Yeah, I'm
Iron Man 2.
Yeah,
I'm not crazy about any of the Thor stuff.
He likes all the Iron Man movies.
You like Iron Man 2?
No.
World War 2.
I like the first Iron Man, and I like the one, Jay, where they kept changing, putting different people in the Iron Man suit.
Yeah, that's 3.
Yeah,
I like 3. A lot of people hate on 3. I like 3, but yeah, Coach like all the trash Marvel movies, man.
No, that ain't true. I'm telling you right now, it's a lot of trash out there now. Jay likes that damn X-Men stuff. That's what he likes. He likes the whole X-Men franchise.
The what now?
X-Men.
Yeah. Jason likes the X-Men. He likes Apocalypse. I think he said that.
You mean with Ivan Ooze?
Dude, that was the worst movie ever. I mean,
they made it worse. They with Dark Phoenix at that is just worse
Phoenix
than that.
I never saw Dark Phoenix.
Yeah,
I gave up on the X-Men. I never saw that shit. I wasn't gonna watch that.
Apocalypse. Yeah. Dark Phoenix is trash.
I wasn't even gonna give Dark Phoenix a chance.
Tom. All right, well, I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and start the show. I'm gonna jump off.
No Herb this week?
No, he out in Cancun or the Bahamas or he said if his connection's good, he'll try to jump on. I said, man, don't worry about it, but he said he's gonna try to say what's up and bounce.
Herb done pulled a miscarry on us. Okay. Okay. I mean, the WNBA is playing right now, so you know. Wow.
Well, let's see.
We can't hear you, Jay.
Just go. I don't got the theme loaded up today, so y'all can just roll.
All right, cool. All right. Folks, we're going to get it popping. Hey, Miss Peavy. Welcome to Straight from the Hip. I'm your host, Coach Gerald Boone Mitchell. Coming to you live from the beautiful throne room up here on Black Mania. Here with my co-host, Miss Carrie, baby. Hi, Miss Carrie.
Hi.
In all your glory and splendor. You look radiant today. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm ready.
I'm glad you are. We got a lot to talk about with you. I'm telling you that right now. Travis, what's going on?
Doing well.
Travis still coming from parts unknown.
Yep.
What's going on? Give us a Geraldine update. How we doing?
Ashley's doing good. I don't know about Geraldine, but Ashley's doing good. And we're at 33 weeks now. So
there you go.
We're going along. So just a few more weeks, and then she'll be here, and I'll probably bring her on the show. Pretty close after she's here, so everyone can see her. So don't you guys worry about that. But
I'm gonna send a camera crew to your house to install some cameras because I want to be able to see what happens when your wife says, my water broke and it's time and all that stuff that goes on. I want to be able to videotape you when that happens. So I'm gonna have some cameras installed. Miss Carrie, wouldn't you like to see that from Travis?
I would like to see his 2-minute play.
Man, I would love to see that because that is going to be funny, Jack. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah,
I can tell you right now.
She keeps worrying that the baby's going to come out during like a football game, and I'm just going to be like, whatever, we'll get to it later. So hopefully that doesn't happen, right?
That's right. Just like Jason said, if that baby comes out dark skinned, I know that I don't live on that side of town. I know who's always hanging around Jason. That's all
I don't have to worry about that. So.
It won't be.
I'm not down there. I don't got to worry about that period.
I hear you. All right, Jay. Don't be causing no trouble back there. All right, let's go and get started talking about these NBA playoffs. Mr. Giannis gave that the Kimbe Mutombo. Not so fast, Phoenix. It ain't gonna be like that. It ain't gonna be that easy. Miss Carrie, what you think about Game 3?
We knew it was coming. I said Phoenix in 5 because I gave that superstar one game.
One game.
That's what he's going to get. And
that's all he's getting, that one.
That's all he's getting.
Wow. Travis, what say you?
Yeah, it didn't surprise me. Milwaukee is a much better team at home than they are, on the road, just like just about every other team in the NBA. So it didn't surprise me, and it was a must-win. Like I think we all knew they had to win that game. It's definitely a must-win for them. So I was a little shocked from a Suns perspective, not the fact that they lost. And not even the fact that they got lost by that much, but they actually kind of kept it close for the fact that Milwaukee had to win that game, and they were, playing really well. The Suns, they lost, but they kept it pretty close throughout. Like, it wasn't back and forth with anything, but it wasn't like a 20-point blowout. So I think if you're a Suns fan, you just got to say, look, like they had a good game. As we can see, the Suns were leading, in the beginning of the game. It's not like they never had a chance. Milwaukee played well, as you would expect a team to play on their home court too. And if you're the Suns, you're just hoping to get the game tomorrow and go 3-1 and head home. So your whole goal, if you're the Suns, is get 1 out of 2, and you're good to go. So I don't think you fret if you're the Suns whatsoever. You just go, hey, they got us, and let's move on to the next one.
I think it's going to be a little bit harder than everybody thinks for Phoenix to win in Milwaukee. I think that Giannis, the first 2 games, he wasn't really sure about that knee. Anybody who's ever had a knee injury will tell you your mind is a thing. It doesn't matter what the doctors tell you. The doctors will say, hey, it's strong. We tested it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When you're a basketball player, you have to jump off that knee to dunk and to defend and all those things. You're just not quite sure. And I think that their Irv said Suns are going to win 4-1. I disagree, Irv. I think it's at least going 6. I'm gonna say at least 6. But like I said, I think you're going to see again this next game a very vibrant Giannis. And then I think that for the first half of game 5, Phoenix better really, really turn it on, because you're going to have to prove to Giannis that he can't do that in Phoenix and shut him down. Mm-hmm. Because when Giannis gets going, everybody just starts feeding off that energy. For some reason, that kind of just ignites the team. Mm-hmm. And even P.J. Tucker starts hitting jumpers from the corner. So, and he was terrible in the last series. I saw him one game miss about 10 jumpers from the corner. I don't know why he kept shooting it. It was so bad. So in any event, like I said, I think that it's going to be a little bit more than everybody thought. I think I'm the only one who chose 7, and I'm still sticking with my 7. I think it's going to be one of those home things, and then come down to the very last game at Phoenix. And who knows, it'll be a toss-up by then. And just remember now, I took Milwaukee because all y'all tried to get on the same bandwagon. I wasn't feeling that. Same as Ham. How are you today? But in any event,
Coach, since 1980, the team that went up 2-0, 18 out of 20 times won it. There's only 2 times in those 20 years that.
Oh, that's great. You know what that means? You know what that means? I'm telling you about how important. How y'all always be throwing these numbers out here. The odds are in our favor, because the odds are in the favor of the team, because it hadn't been done in so long. It's about time for it to be done. Mm-hmm. That's the way I look at that. When people say stuff like that, I'm like, it's been so long. This gonna be the year when that gets broken or whatever. So that's the way I look at that kind of stuff. When somebody says, you know what, nobody has ever come back from 3-0. Well, guess what? This might be the year when that happens. So Son's not worried. Is that because Miss Carey's going back out? Are you going back out to Miss Carey to see Chris?
No, I'm not going out there this time.
Okay. I'm just checking. Because last time when you did that Mamma Jam on Chris, boy, it took him a while to recover. Yeah, that's my girl right there. We were giving you your props. Oh, we were giving you your props back in Trio. We were giving you your props back here, baby.
Who's this?
I don't know who that is. Jay got on there talking about Amazon. Anyway, let's move on to talk about another part of the NBA, which is USA basketball. Lord have mercy. Man, talk to me, Travis. Tell me what's going on with USA basketball. I know I'm going to tell y'all in a minute, but I'm going to let you go first.
I don't know what's going on with USA basketball. Like, when the first game, they lost to Nigeria the first game, and I thought I read the score wrong when I saw it on the bottom line of ESPN. I was like, wait, what? And I looked it up, and I was like, oh, wow, like, that's bad. But I thought, hey, the first time playing together in a long time, yes, it's an exhibition, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't count, this, that, and the other. Like, they'll figure it out, let them get some practices in, and they'll be all good to go. Well, now they just lost to Australia. Not that Australia, isn't bad, because they're a very good, basketball team, and they do actually have some NBA players. But when they lost to Australia, I was like, okay, like this could be serious. I'm not saying that they're not gonna, figure it out and that they're not gonna, do good in the Olympics, because I still think they will. They just have too much talent too. But they got to put some work in. And I think it wouldn't surprise me if they're just like, oh, we're all these high class NBA players, and we're just gonna walk on the floor and win like we think we always have, and that's obviously not the case. And I think they're going to figure it out, but this is not a good look for USA basketball. But again, it is only exhibition. It is only basically preseason. Games don't matter at this point. But you want to at least win a few games before you walk into the Olympics, with games in a pool play that actually matter. So,
well, Earth said they won by 20 tonight, but I mean, they didn't beat anybody. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Miss Carey, what do you say about this?
When I look at the roster, I tend to think that there's not a real leader on that team.
Very good observation.
At the beginning of the playoff season, you asked Irv and I who we would take over Giannis, and you kind of laughed that we would select anybody, and I chose, of course, Chris Paul, not because I'm in love with the dude, but because he is a leader and he is a distributor, and sometimes that is more important than having a ton of stars. And look where Chris Paul has taken the Suns. So I think that on that team, there's not a true facilitator. They're all magnificent scorers in their own right, but nobody there that can facilitate the game. And so I'm concerned about that over time, right now, but maybe over time, somebody will come out of there. Right now, I think the truest leader they have on there is Draymond Green.
Okay, and you might be right about that now. That's a good observation. But I want to make the record clear, and I want you to hear this, Ms. Carey, especially for you. When I was talking about you and Chris Paul, I never mentioned the word love. Love never came out of my mouth when I was talking about you and Chris Paul. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that, because nobody said you was in love with Chris Paul. Hey, I never said anything about that. I'm telling you that right now. Just for the record. But anyway, hey, look, I said, what's wrong with you? What's right with you? Well, I mean, dude, first of all, I don't know that Popovich is the guy. I just don't. I mean, Popovich is the coach, and Pop is a quirky. I mean, people who play with him for a long time love him, and I know he did great with, Tim Duncan and all those guys and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But to have him try to put a team together and players that he's never worked with before, I think that's one concern of mine. Another concern is, when you're playing in this all-star game, it's hard enough playing with guys you've never played with before. Right. Now you got two of the biggest ball hogs in the history of basketball between Dame Dollar and Kevin Durant. I mean, you got to get used to playing the whole game without even getting the damn touch the ball. I mean, that's another concern. I mean, dude, it's difficult when you haven't played with people like that. I saw Dame Dollar a few minutes ago pull up almost a half court and shoot one. I mean, you're not used to that when you had never played with him before. You're not used to, okay, I need to get in rebounding position because he's past half court and he's liable to pull the trigger. I mean, dude, it's very difficult to do that and to play with people like that if you've never done it before.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult when you're Bradley Beal and you've been the number 2 guy on your team. Now you're like the number 3 or 4 whatever guy on your team. That's another concern. I will say this, and I'm not sure where you were going, what you were saying, Travis. I understand the win or the loss, I should say, more to Australia than to the first one they lost to.
Right.
I mean, Australia has always given the U.S., that's always been like, okay, if we get past Australia, we're good. Because Australia has people in the NBA. Yep. Australia plays the same basketball we play. That's always in my recollection been the toughest game for the United States to get by is Australia. It seems like it always came down to those two in the finals. Right. So losing to Australia isn't as big a concern to me as was losing us. And Irv, to what you were saying, they did win tonight by 20. They should have won by 40. That team was terrible. I mean, I wound up catching the second half of that game, and that team, Argentina, has just digressed tremendously from the way they used to be. That team was straight trash that they just played. And the fact they only won by 20, that ought to concern everybody. Travis, what you got to say?
So I was just looking. I didn't know they played today. I was just trying to look up. That's why I'm looking down. I was just trying to see who they played and who they had beaten. So they beat Argentina. I was just looking at the box score with Australia. So the USA has 16 guys on their roster, and they played 10 of them. For Australia, so there were 6 guys that are NBA, caliber guys that sat the bench. Like, do you think maybe they're just playing some of these guys too much? And we just got through a season, and some of these guys may be tired. I'm not saying, they are or they aren't, but you may need to start playing some of these other guys and give, especially since it's an exhibition. Why are you not letting, some of the bench players that may not see, maybe you just let them, maybe you find that one guy that can be your 10th or 11th man. And Kevin Durant doesn't need to play 32 minutes. I just looked up his stat. He played 28 minutes the other day. He doesn't need to play 28 minutes in an exhibition.
Let me tell you what they do. But they got to get the chemistry down, Travis. It's important for them to play and trying to find out, who are the ones that are going to be able to gel together and have that chemistry to feel it and actually do some good. To put Draymond, to put Dame Dollar, to put Kevin Durant, and whoever, Bradley Beal, I guess. And some of these names they got out there, like they brought in Kevin Love a few minutes ago, who just totally stunk. He shot the ball 3 times, missed all 3 that I saw. And Kevin Love to me has never been that big of a marquee player anyway. I think he's been a good number 3, maybe at best. And his best thing is knocking down the 3-pointers. And I think I saw him miss like 3 3-pointers, the 3 he shot. But my whole thing is that who are these guys? You're talking about them being NBA players. I think that they're used to sitting on the bench, some of them. They might be in the NBA, but some of those names they were saying, and I will admit, I'm not an NBA fan. I don't watch a lot of games. But good guy, hey, Irv, there he is. Irv, who are these guys out there? Who is that Johnson guy that just looked terrible out there? Dame threw him a doggone alley-oop, and he missed it. Who was that?
He said you put him on the spot right before he had Wi-Fi.
Oh, he ain't got the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi ain't working over there in the crazy Cayman Islands. I know you. Oh, he's on. I know I think he told me he's doing his work release or something at that prison he's been going to. But anyway, guys, that's a long story now. We'll get into that later.
There he is.
There you go.
But listen to me. 1 in 4 players in the NBA is an international player. So the more the talent grows around us, and we bring that talent into the NBA to play during the times when these players go back to their home teams, those teams are going to become stronger and stronger.
And I agree. That's a great point too that I meant to bring up, Ms. Carey. Thank you. Yeah. Everybody needs to understand too. The world is catching up to the U.S. as far as basketball is concerned. Those days, there was only one dream team anyway. I hate when they start saying that dream team 2 and all that old foolishness. There was one dream team. And that was when Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley and all them on together. In the story. No more dream team. I don't even want to hear that title anymore. The bottom line is the world has caught up significantly in basketball to the U.S. when it comes to the Olympics. I mean, and like you said, a lot of these guys leave the NBA and go back and play for their home countries. So, I think that's another concern that we should have as far as where USA basketball is in this tournament. Come tell you, another one that used to always give us fits was China. China always, for whatever reason, would give the U.S. fits in basketball. And, you're playing over there in Asia. And so obviously they're going to, there's going to be some incentive for them with that. I mean, I think the fact that there's no fans in the stands is actually going to help the U.S. tremendously because they're not going to be out there to be able to watch it. And that would probably get the Asians all charged up and the people in Tokyo and Japan and all that. And God knows what would happen. So, yeah, okay. Jason got who are some of these people here? Okay, Bam Adebayo, know him. Bradley Beal, know him.
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker, obviously
Devin Booker's not playing.
Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Who is that right there?
That's Horace Grant's son.
Yeah, and he's
I'm gonna give it
playing.
to him. So who is that? What is Horace? Is that why he's there? Because he's Horace. I can't believe you just came out and said that's Horace Grant's son. Good God Almighty. Drew Holiday's not there. Yep. Zach LaVine dunked in somebody's face. I didn't see that. I don't know. Oh, Kevin Love was terrible. No, that's somebody else. They had somebody Johnson on there a few minutes ago. I mean, he must be filling in for somebody.
Guys that are filling in. Like I know one player that's playing for USA basketball that's on the team now. Dakota Mathias. He went to Purdue University. That's the only reason why I know him. But he's been in the G League for the last 3 years, but he's on this USA basketball team, probably as a fill-in for.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, they must have some fill-ins because I saw.
Harvey Grant.
Yeah, exactly. I'm laughing at him too, Harvey Grant. Dude, that dude.
I said Horace Grant, and it's his.
He did say Horace.
It's his twin brother. I understand. I get.
My bad.
But the bottom line is who is that? I mean, who does he play for? Is he
Detroit.
any good? Does he start?
Yeah. He plays for Detroit. He's sharp.
I've never heard of him either, Coach. So
I never heard of him. I ain't never heard of him. This is my first time hearing of him. And somehow he made the team. Oh well, I'm not. And let's talk about that. It's not like he had to make the team. Half the damn people in the NBA didn't even want to play.
Right.
LeBron said no. AD said no. I mean, it's a whole lot of jokers that said no. They didn't even want to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing about it.
Dude, I just. Neither
say what now?
Basketball. What Jason put.
What'd you say now?
He said neither of y'all watch basketball.
You got that right. Other than playoffs, that's
well. Now let me make sure this clear. I watch it whenever I know we can do this show. I got to get caught up, so I got to at least be knowledgeable. But I don't watch it to the extent that y'all do. I'm not even gonna pretend like I do. I mean, I will see what's going on ESPN. And, watch some of the talk shows so that I can kind of get caught up on what's going on. But I tell you what, I still ain't never heard it that Horace Grant or Harvey Grant had a child. Man, please. And you say he's good? Is he all-star good? Did he make the all-star team? Hell no. Hell no.
Well, he's only in his second year, I think, or his third year. He was with.
Well, he don't need to have his ass out there playing for USA basketball.
He's in his fourth year. He was with OKC, and they just traded him to Detroit.
He ain't no damn good. Jason, you pop your ass up on here and say something about it and talk about how good he is. Because somebody better vouch for it. Because that boy don't need to be on that damn team. That's why they get their ass kicked over there. I know that.
Second round pick. Drafted in 2014, and this is his fourth team since 2014.
He's sharp, though.
Irv said he barely missed the All-Star team. That's like horseshoes and hanger names. Talking about barely missed. I mean, ain't nobody talking about no damn barely missed. What you talking about? You gotta be kidding me. Talking about some barely missed. Anyway, while we talking about the All-Star team, I'm glad Irv can at least type in his answer here. Irv, there is a rumor going around that Dame Dollar might be going to Golden State.
Yeah.
Golden State is trying to put together a package to bring over Dame Dollar. And already got Draymond Green pumping his head up already. Like, man, come on over to the dark side. What y'all think about that, Miss Karen?
Listen, he's the same player that that Kevin Durant is. I mean, he's a prime scorer. I think that you put him there and it's over. I mean, I think they win it clear and easy as long as dude comes back healthy. Son?
Oh, you're talking Thompson?
Yeah.
Klay Thompson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as he comes back healthy, it's over. It's a wrap.
The one thing I wonder about with him with the Warriors, if they can pull it off, right? That they're obviously going to have to trade Wiseman, who was a top 5.
Wiseman, and they got a first.
And a first. And I think that if I was Portland, that'd be the starting point for them. That's what I would ask. That's a bare minimum. But let's say they do get him and they don't give up.
Am I freezing up, or is everybody else freezing up?
No, I'm good. Let's say they somehow get him, but they keep Clay, Steph, and Dame. There's only one basketball to go around for the three of them. Like, I don't know how that's going to work. Because
that's what everybody said in Brooklyn. And if they hadn't got hurt, it would have worked fine in Brooklyn. I mean, and you got Draymond too, by the way.
No,
but like I said.
My point is, though, at least with Kyrie and Harden and Durant, they play 3 different positions.
No, they're not going to drop Dre or Draymond. You forget that.
Yeah,
you forget that. That ain't
Draymond. I didn't say that, but I'm saying.
I know. I'm talking about Irv did. Irvin said Wiseman, Wiggins, and a bunch of picks, but got to drop either Clay or Draymond, and that ain't going to happen.
Yeah, if they keep Clay, Steph, and Damian Lillard, that's 3 guys that basically play the same 2 positions, basically. And there's 3 of them. So, like, there's not enough balls to go around for those 3 of them when they play, basically two separate, 2 positions between the 3 of them.
If you get all 3 of them and Draymond and then a henchman out there, I mean, they could get a dumbass from the Lakers. Though he's not even with the Lakers anymore. He used to be here in Atlanta. What's your big boy's name? Went out of high school to the pros. I see his face, can't say his name.
Oh, Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard. You can get Dwight Howard on there to be a goon and a rebounder with them 3 shooting like that. Man, they would beat everybody. They beat them clowns up there in doggone Brooklyn. Yeah. If they have all them three of them doggone sharpshooters out there like that, and a couple of muscle guys on the inside to keep everybody honest. Yeah. Dude, it wouldn't take much. I mean, if you get them 3 together, you could just about sell the house, like Irv is alluding to. You can give up the farm if you can get Dame Dollar. I'm telling you that right now. That's going to be formidable for whoever. I mean, whatever's out there for LeBron and AD and for the guys in Brooklyn and Giannis and everybody. That's going to be nasty there if that happens. So I know it's some teams out there in the West like the Phoenix Suns praying that doesn't happen because that could be ugly.
The other problem is if they get them, like I'm saying, they're going to have to give up a lot. They're going to have to pay all 3 of these players. Probably, maybe not max contracts because I think you can only pay 2 max contracts. And one of them have to take a deduction.
But tell them about it. Look, how much money you think they got?
Hold on. The contract situation for the rest of the team, because they're not going to be they're still going to have 12 guys on the team. Their bench is going to be it's going to be like the Heat were when they had Bosh and James and Wade, and they didn't win a title every year that they were together either. So
let me ask you a question.
Be there either.
How much money would one of them have to sacrifice? Just give me a broad number. How much money would Dame Dollar have to sacrifice from what he could get to what he will get?
Probably a few million, not
okay. 5 million, 10 million,
something like that.
Okay, for a championship, you don't think that joke would give up 10 million when he already got 190?
Hold on. Don't use the Heat as an example. Them jokers won 2 championships. What are we talking about? Oh, well, you put them all together. They didn't win the first year. They won 2 championships.
I'm with you.
Are we talking psycho now? Like,
I'm with you. But that's my point.
If the Atlanta Hawks were told that they can pick up a person and you can get out of 4 years 2 championships and be in the finals all 4 years.
Pick his ass up tomorrow.
That deal.
Pick his ass up tomorrow.
Exactly. What is Travis talking about? I'm sorry. I just had to come in on that.
I got the jet. On the runway going to pick that joke up. I'm telling you that right now. Yeah. I mean, the bottom line is that, like I said, I guarantee you, if you told Damian Lillard, we're going to bring you to Golden State, and these are going to be the pieces you're going to be playing with, he's going to be like, man, damn the money.
Yeah.
I don't care about the money. Dude, I mean, Travis, think about how long these guys have been playing and how much money they already have. I mean, you can only do so much with that money. I mean, the bottom line is their great-great-grandchildren are taken care of. I mean, you can only have security go back for so long. I mean, the world ain't even going to be around that long any damn way, the way it's going right now. So the bottom line is that, I mean, money is not, just like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's like, money, man, cut my salary and get me some damn help in here. I don't care about that.
Every sign can to max players, but there's no ceiling to these contracts. There's no ceiling to these contracts.
25% of the max contract. Okay, I agree. I mean, that even makes it more apt that this is gonna happen. Because, like I said, just the way the rule itself says there that Jason has up there for you. I'm telling you right now, I think guys would be happy to care less. Irv, do you disagree? Do you think that Dame Dollar to get his ass out of Portland and get in a doggone city where he's gonna have a chance to win a championship, that he wouldn't turn down the money? Man, come on. I know you know better than that. If you play basketball, you know what it's like to win a ship and think about the only way that you're gonna have a chance to win one. Man, money don't mean anything to them jokers at this point. I mean, obviously it does mean something. I mean, it doesn't mean near as much as you might think it is. Dude, how many more years you think Damian Lillard has, Travis? How many more years in the league he got?
In the league, or like a top flight player?
In the league.
I'd say 5.
In the league, he probably got 5 or 6.
Okay, and you got a chance to win a championship, maybe 2 in your last 5 or 6 years, and you're gonna let $5 million or $10 million stand between you and that man. Y'all, I can't talk to y'all about this if y'all gonna say that. I mean, if y'all believe that this man gonna let $5 to $10 million when he been making $80 and $100 million, and you think he gonna let 5 or 10 stand in his man, please.
If that's the case, then why doesn't every superstar player, just team up and go to 4 different teams? Why don't they do that then? If they don't care about
I think maybe some of them would like to, but it's got to be the right situation. I mean, because a lot of these guys want to go and still be the 2 or still be the 3 or the 1 or whatever the case may be. But the bottom line is if Damian Lillard is willing to go there under whatever circumstances they're telling him his role is going to be, I guarantee he's willing to give up that money. I guarantee you that. And I mean, like I said, you've seen it work in Brooklyn. Brooklyn has shown you that 3 ball hogs can exist because Kyrie's doing just fine, Durant's doing just fine, Harden's doing just fine. They're all
and what did it get him this year?
But you're not think about
because they're hurt, Travis. I mean,
did they get the ultimate goal of winning the championship?
It would be
Travis, people got hurt, and guess what?
I understand that, but
let's just say this: if Chris Paul gets hurt the next game, the Suns ain't gonna get theirs either. I mean, the bottom line is you can't say that. You got to be kidding me.
Just like I said, it can exist because they don't play the same position.
Listen, we saw it work. We saw it work in Golden State with Durant, Thompson, and Curry.
Agreed.
All you're doing is taking out one and putting in Lillard. They will win championships, and they will do it for the money. If they want to make it work, they will make it work. I guarantee it.
Durant and Damian Lillard are 2 completely different players.
Not so much. They're prime scorers. You can count on 35 points a night.
Easily.
Yeah, they got the ball in their hands every play.
Irv said Harden got hurt because he never played. Well, that's a whole nother thing to talk about there. So we're gonna save that for another night. We finna move this conversation right on along here. Let me see where we are. All right, next up on the docket. Oh, guess what, Miss Carey? Somehow, I'm not sure how this happened. I know that you don't really keep up with them or whatnot, but I missed the article. Somebody told me to discuss this tonight. Said the Atlanta Falcons lost a linebacker or something. Can you want to elaborate on that and tell us what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I really want to change the headline. The Atlanta Falcons lost a linebacker and say man made us, there's an accusation against a man who was a Falcon player. We don't know at this point. It's an accusation. Indecency with a child by sexual contact, which is the same thing as fondling, and somebody under the age of 17 with intent for sexual gratification. We don't know if this man is guilty or not, but I can understand them letting him go. From my perspective, I taught for several years. I'm married to a teacher. And at some point you have to be above reproach, and you just have to live a life that way. And so I am about that life. And I can understand the team saying, you know what, we want people on our organization who are not going to put themselves in the position. And so I'm glad they let him go. And I hope that he is, I hope that he didn't do this. If he did do it, I hope he never plays again. That's
okay. That's fair. That's fair. Travis.
I agree. If he did do it, he's going to jail, so he'll never play again anyway. Because I think I had read the same article, and they said if he gets convicted, it's like 20 years. So he'll never play again anyway. And let's face it, this is Barkevius Mingo is a former first-round draft pick, but he's been a bust in the NFL. This was a guy that the Falcons signed in the offseason for a one-year contract. So this is it's not anyone important for the Falcons anyway. He was going to be a linebacker depth piece at most. I don't even think he was going to be a starter. He was going to be a backup, and this is a very easy decision. One-year contract just brought him in, but this is what's going on. See, you got to go. I'm not surprised whatsoever. When I saw the article the other day, the first thing I thought of was in 24 hours, he's not going to be with the Atlanta Falcons, because there's no point for the Atlanta to be holding on to this guy, even if this comes out to being nothing happened, right? It's all fake. We don't know, but even if it does, it's not even worth the headache for everything that's going on for a one-year contract player.
Do you agree, Travis?
Somebody else.
Carrie said that she disagrees with the Falcons, or she does agree with the Falcons releasing him, even though the case hasn't necessarily proceeded to that point where he's been found guilty or not. How do you feel about that?
I agree. Yeah, like I said, he's a backup linebacker. He's worth more. He's more of a headache than anything he's going to be worth on the field. So dump him, get rid of him. He's never played for the Falcons, right? He's just on the team because they signed him in the offseason. So you say, hey, we didn't know anything about it. Once we found the news, that's not what our organization's about, and we say goodbye, have a nice day, and we keep it on and keep it moving. So. That's exactly what I thought Atlanta was going to do when I read the article.
I'm going to give you my take on it. My take on it is this. First of all, I would have cut him because his name is Barkevius. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why somebody signed somebody whose name was Barkevius. I mean, I think that should have been the first indication right there that we might not want this guy. What is Barkevius? Who came up with that name? Come on, Travis. What?
No, real quick. Would it make a difference if it was a star player? would it make a difference in terms of what the Falcons were going to do? I think it would, because we're looking at the same situation, not the same, but a similar situation to Deshaun Watson. He's got all these accusations and charges, and he's still on the football team. They haven't.
First of all,
if he was a third string quarterback, they would have released him. So it does make a difference in terms of keeping him if he's a star player.
Excellent question from Ms. Peavy. And Ms. Peavy, I mean, this is my thing. And I agree with you. And I agree with Travis. I don't think they would if it was a star player. Because, like I said, we always find a reason to dig a little bit more. You probably would have had a statement from them saying, we have been in touch with the authorities. We are monitoring the situation, closely. And that's all we're saying at this time. And we're going to see how this plays. That kind of thing is what you probably would have got. But like I said, bless this guy's heart. The fact that his name is Barcavius and that he's a journeyman, he didn't have a damn chance. I ain't gonna lie to you. Miss Carey, what you got?
The big difference is child. Once you put the name child in there, once the charges are stemming from the involvement and the engagement of a child, it changes everybody's perspective. And I think it's children, dogs, and then women.
Tom wants to know what the parents were smoking when they named them Barcavius. I'm with you, Tom. It was difficult for me to read the whole article because I just got stuck on Barcavius. You start trying to break that thing down. Like, was his daddy named Barry, and then somebody? Where did the Cavius come from? You try to figure out today. Try to merge 2 or 3 names together. To where the hell I know a kid. I trained a kid named Marquavius, but he explained it to me. He said, my dad's name was Marquel. He had a brother named Jaquez. So when they got through mixing it all together, it came out Marquavius. I said, okay. Oh, strange, but okay. So, when I'm reading this article, all of a sudden I'm trying to figure out how in the hell did they come up with Barcavius? I still don't get it.
Barkley.
But as usual, just another embarrassing, it just seemed to just run with the Falcons. It just runs with Atlanta. Just a eyesore, just a terrible, horrible thing for this franchise that they got some idiot out there, even in a position that he could be in, like Ms. Carey just said, you have to be so far above reproach. And I tell that to these youth coaches that I'm over all the time here in Gwinnett. Dude, that should never, ever, ever be a question at all. The fact that you're even questioning something like that, if I was a coach, just like this guy did, and if it was a coach, kudos to him, you got to go. Even the mention of it, you got to go. And Georgia is a right-to-work state. So get your butt on out here, as far as I'm concerned. I don't have to have any reason. Get your ass on out of here and get away from me with that old nasty stuff. That's awful. Question for the panel. What the hell is A-Rod going to do this year? We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. And I know it's kind of been fun, kind of laughing about it and everything, but, the rubber's about to meet the road here in another 2 weeks. Because there's something about that if, he doesn't report and be there on time. Because, a lot of times when they work things out afterward, like, okay, we see you're serious, so now we're going to offer you the kitchen sink. And, don't worry about those fines that, you've missed and all that. They can't do that anymore because he will be losing money, like to the tune of, and it's not much money. And when you hear what I say that, 100 and I'm going to say he going to miss about $10 million, I think it is, they said today, if he doesn't report on time and all that other kind of stuff, because they can't pay him back that money in fines like they used to. They said once you kissed and made up and all that, it's okay, just forget about the fines. You can't do that anymore. So he will be fined that money. So we'll start with you, Travis, and then we'll go to you, Miss Carey. Travis, what's Aaron Rodgers going to do? Is he going to play this year, and who for?
Yes, I think A-Rod will play, and I think he will play for the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, wow.
I think they're going to figure it out somehow.
You know they've been trying for like the last 6 months.
I understand, but when it comes down to crunch time, things typically tend to, get the ball rolling a little bit faster.
Okay.
And I think he will play for the Green Bay Packers. But I think next year he will not. I think this will be his last year. I think it'll be a mutual decision between him and the Packers to get rid of each other. And he will go to another team, but I think he will play for the Packers this year, and this will be his last year.
Irv said he's going to play for the Washington Republicans. He actually said Washington Sentinels. But I don't care what they named that old ragged-ass team anyway. But anyway, Miss Carey, what do you think?
I don't think he comes back to play for the Packers. I don't think he plays at all this year. I think he'd have to eat crow at this point. If he came back and played for the Packers, I mean, I think he's much too arrogant for that. And not arrogant in like a Aaron Rodgers way. I mean, arrogant as in a quarterback way. They're arrogant, and he would not eat crow at this point and come back and play for that team and give them all of the. If he goes back to them now, they've won or they've earned an audience that he's going to take with them. He's going to take with them to go play with the Packers now. They'll have more of a following. They'll earn more money because of this situation he's brought them some attention with. So I would think that no, he doesn't play for them. He is sticking to his guns as far as teaching them a lesson, and he plays for somebody else next year, maybe the Falcons.
But you think he sits out this whole year?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I'll be honest with you. I think that there's going to be a blockbuster trade that's going to wind up happening. I don't see him sitting out this year because I think he wants to play. He's a competitor. He just don't want to play there. And so I think that, I don't know who it's going to be or who's got money even to get him or whatever. And again, money's really not an issue to him. He's one of those guys who's, been in the league for a while, sopping up these, 36 and 56 and however many $1 million contracts. I think they said he's earned over like $200 million. Guys, I mean, seriously.
It's not hurting for money. It's not a money.
Yeah, think about that. When you have $200 million sitting in the bank, I mean, I would do straight from here every night. When I get my $200 million, I'll be sitting in the same chair like this and have somebody down there doing my toenails and somebody have a straw in my mouth feeding me, and I just be sitting right here. And I just turn that light off right there, and then I'm going to lay back like this and let somebody rub my neck for me and do $200 million. Are you kidding me? I mean, you don't need any more money when you got $200 million. I mean, that's absurd. He could go anywhere. That's what's scary. If that joker could go anywhere, I mean, he'd just be like, you know what? I always wanted to play with Julio. Let me go on up here to Tennessee and play with him up there in Tennessee. Whoever that is up in Tennessee, get your ass out of the way. Let me show you how to play quarterback and get this thing going. I mean, that's what's scary about it. And he ain't a bad golfer either. If you saw him golf the other day, he made some pretty crazy, incredible shots. Dang good golfer on top of it. So like I said, I would love to see him play this year because I'm a fan. Don't be hating on Tannehill. You know I hate Tannehill, Jay. You know I hate on Tannehill long before I was talking about A-Rod going up there. I ain't no Ryan Tannehill fan. But in any event, I honestly hope he plays, and I hope it's a big blockbuster deal. He might wind up in Houston, Texas. If I think about that, since everybody wondering what's going to happen with Deshaun, could he wind up in Houston, Texas? I mean, would that not be ironic? So, like I said, I mean, anything can happen. So we'll see. All right, let's move right along. Here's a question they were talking about today, and I could not wait to bring this question to this team. Oh, my God, he's arrogant. Anyway, Miss Peavy, I don't know why you hate on Aaron Rodgers. You hate on Aaron Rodgers. You hate on Tom Brady. Wait a minute. Both of them are white quarterbacks, and you are married to a black dude. So, hey, Miss Peavy, is that what it is, Miss Peavy? Is that what it is? You don't like the white quarterbacks? I think that.
Facts.
I think that's what it is, Jay. We got you, Miss Peavy. I done figured it out now. She want to see OJ. She want to see OJ playing quarterback. OJ Peavy back there, have a hubby back there playing quarterback in a Falcons uniform, wearing them little tight pants and all that. Say you love me, just arrogant, huh? I hear you, Miss Peavy. Okay. This was a discussion today that I couldn't wait to bring here. Everybody's talking about the running backs, and they rated the running backs, and I can give less than a damn about how they rated the running backs. The question was that I thought was intriguing: is a premier running back needed to win an NFL championship? And let's not just think about the Super Bowl, because everybody knows things kind of go down different in the Super Bowl. You got to think about the whole season. Is a premier running back needed in order to win a Super Bowl? Miss Carey looks like she's in deep thought, so I'm going to start with you, Travis. Because you're going to say whatever's on top of your head anyway, whether it makes sense or not. So come on, Travis.
Just to clarify, it's one premier running back, right? That's what the question is. It's a premier running back, right?
A premier running back.
Okay. So my answer would be no. It is not necessary to have a premier running back because more than ever, it seems like in the NFL, it's a lot of it is running back by committee now. So actually, I think a premier running back may theoretically hurt a team. I think you need to have good depth at running back, but you do not need a premier running back. And it's a passing league anyway, right?
So you said a premier running back hurts a team. Is that what you said? I want to make sure I heard what you said.
It can in the long run. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But Dalvin Cook could hurt Minnesota.
To make a Super Bowl? Yeah, that's the question. I would say you do not need a premier running back. You need a solid running back depth, but you do not need a premier running back.
Okay.
Look at the past Super Bowl winners, and most of them have not had premier running backs lately. I know lately.
Okay, let's get to Miss Carey. Miss Carey, what say you?
Yeah, I'm of the same opinion. I think that you don't need a premier. I think you need depth and options. So I think more and more we're using tight ends, and I think that my opinion is that you do not need a premier like a I think you said Devin Cook or Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Cook, yeah. See, those are two different people. You can't do those two. You would have to do Dalvin Cook and this boy here running the ball here, Henry, because they are primary runners. I mean, when you start talking about, Kamara, and you start talking about what's McCaffrey and guys like that, those are like, Swiss Army knives, where they can catch the ball, they can run the ball, and they do just as much catching as they do running. I mean, Dalvin Cook isn't going to catch them, but maybe a swing pass on the screen or something like that. He's not going to be out running post routes like Dak Prescott, for instance. Dak Prescott's more of a grinder and a runner than not Dak Prescott. I'm sorry.
Elliott.
I'm talking about what I'm talking about for the Cowboys. There is Jason showing him on there.
Well, that's Tony Pollard, but you're talking about
that is Pollard. You know what I'm talking about. That is Pollard. I'm sorry, that was number 20. But that's what I'm talking about. Do you think that the typical runner is needed on a team? That's the real question.
No.
Zeke, thank you, Ms. Peavy. You don't think so?
No, I don't.
I can tell you this. I know that a lot of people keep up with this kind of stuff. In past years, it's been that whoever has the most rushing yards in a Super Bowl typically wins the game. And somebody can go back and look that up or whatever. But it's always been a thing, because that's why even down on the high school level, coaches will tell you have to be able to run the ball, because by being able to run the ball, it helps you to be able to throw the ball. And that's the reason why teams like the Cleveland Browns are being so highly touted this year and saying, you know what, they might be able to make it, deep in the playoffs, because they got a great running game, because they got Bradley Chubb, and he's in the top 10 running backs category now and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the people that can run the football are also going to be able to throw it, because the linebackers have to really sit there, especially if it's play action, to make sure you're not handing that ball off before they can get back in pass coverage. And so when you're able to do that, it really opens up a lot of areas where the wide receivers can catch the ball and do things of that nature. I disagree. I think you do need, even if it's not, like I said, that's Chris Carson there. Again, a beast. And again, he takes a lot of pressure off of Russell Wilson. Believe it or not, I used to train that kid. He went to Parkview High School, and I trained him when he was at Parkview High School. But in any event, he is a grinder and a half, and he takes a lot of pressure off of Russell Wilson. So I disagree, and I think you do need to have a grinder, not just a Swiss Army knife, but somebody who's going to be able to carry the ball, 30 times a game or whatever, and be able to, rush for over 100 yards a game and things of that nature. Be a 1,500, 2,000 yard back or whatever. I think that's huge if you have that on your team. So that would be my answer. And I think that it'll be interesting when Jason comes out here. He can let us know if he agrees with that, because I know me and him have had a lot of conversation about that. Last but not least,
Coach, real quick, and you brought up who was that running back you just brought up? The guy you just
Elliott?
No, literally 4 seconds ago, and I was shaking my head because I stopped listening when he said his name. Oh, Chris Carson. They haven't won a Super Bowl with Chris Carson. But Tampa Bay, the last Super Bowl winners, Tampa Bay, they do not have an elite running back. They have a running back depth. Kansas City Chiefs the year before, ditto. We know they don't have a running game. All they did ever was pass the ball. The New England Patriots in 2019, they never had a premier running back. They had running back depth. The year before that was the Philadelphia Eagles. They had running back depth. They had 2 or 3 guys that together did it, and Nick Foles was unbelievable. The year before that, the Patriots never have had a running back. The Denver Broncos, that was the year that their defense was unbelievable, and they just won because their defense, they never gave up points. So they may be the only one that you can
Travis, you say all these people you're saying are not premier running backs, but how many yards did they rush for? Because at the end of the day, if you rush for 2,000 yards, you can't say he's not a premier running back. I mean, what are you deeming as a premier running back? I mean, how many rushing yards did they have?
Give me 1 second.
I know, but I'm just saying that. I mean, you can't say, well, they had 5,000 yards rushing, but they didn't have a premier running back. The hell they didn't.
Yeah, I think that what he's saying is that they run by committee. They don't have a star with, like you said, Chubb's name on his back, or not Chubb. I guess Chubb is not the person you were talking about.
I understand, but Brady would have been considered not a premier quarterback. Hell, he got drafted in the 7th round and this, that, and the other. But I don't care if they have a 7th round guy out there running the ball. If his ass is getting the job done and rushing for 2,000 yards a year, he's premier. I mean, that's what teams like Bill Belichick's team does. That's what the Patriots do. I mean, they draft people like that and turn them into quote unquote premier. I'm just talking about the need of having a good running game, and by whoever it is you want to get, whether he's recycled or whatever the case may be, he is rushing for 2,000 yards or whatever. Y'all act like there's no need for a rushing game. We're just gonna throw the ball all day, just throw the ball around all day, and we can win the damn Super Bowl. And that's bullshit. You can't do it.
Yeah, I think that the question might have been skewed differently, right? Maybe we should have asked, does a team need a one-man 2,000 yard rusher to win a Super Bowl?
Okay, but maybe so, and maybe I asked it poorly, and I will give into that. But my whole thing is the fact that I think it is important that you got to have balance, and like Travis said, and early on he's like, well, Kansas City Chiefs, they ain't got no damn running game. All they do is throw the ball, and then they winning, and they winning Super Bowls and all that, and that ain't true. I mean, how many rushing yards they have, Travis? How many the year they won the Super Bowl? How many rush yards they had? I guarantee you they had a damn boatload of them. Whoever was running, if I don't give a damn if Mahomes was running, I guarantee they had a boatload of rushing yards. Moving right along.
I'll get to that in a second.
We're going to finish talking about, you keep looking.
I am.
Herb, I need you, Herb. I hope you're still there with us. Tell me what's going on in Washington. Why is it that the Washington football team said that they can't release their name and their mascot and their logo and all that until 2022? What the hell is that all about? Miss Carey, help me.
I don't think they have the name. They hired a brand manager or brand ambassador. I think that they are still, maybe weighing one or two options, but I don't really think that they have the name yet. And so they're in the process of working through that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going for, I think it should be the District Dogs.
Wow. I damn sure hope not, Miss Carey. For the sake of everybody that lives in Washington, everybody in Chocolate City, there was a community throw up when you just said that in Chocolate City. All the black folks just they earl big time in the Chocolate City when they heard you say that. Travis, what do you think?
In terms of the Washington thing, we knew it was coming. Right. And I think we all knew it was going to come after the end of this year because they said that last year. So I couldn't tell you what to name them. Right. I don't really care. Call them the Washington Sentinels, the generals, the presidents, the congressmen. I don't really care. Whatever they pick, I'm sure we'll be fine. We know it'll be, probably pretty neutral and tame. So that they don't have too much backlash on it. So whatever it is, I'm not going to cheer for them, but it'll be whatever they are. They're gonna.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, and this is hot off the presses, and y'all gonna say you heard it on Straight from the Hip. I already have some. I'm glad you're here, Herb. I don't know if you heard what I heard, so I just want you to confirm this for me. And Jason, you being somebody from Washington D.C., I'm gonna tell you what I heard. They said that since the name Redskins was so offensive and whatnot, they were going to change it this year, and they don't want to roll it out yet because they got a lot of stuff that still has WFT, Washington Football Team, and they want to wait till they can sell some of that stuff. So that's why they didn't roll it out this year, so they can sell all that stuff. They stopped production on that stuff, and now they're going to sell all that stuff. And next year, they're going to come out, and the name of the football team is going to be the Maroon Skins. Not Redskins, but the Maroon Skins. because American Indians are actually more maroon than red. So they're going to call them the Washington Maroon Skins. What's wrong, Miss Carey? Miss Carey, I mean, come on now.
Mine was better.
Come on, Miss Carey, come on now. Why would they not be? Everybody should be okay with maroon skins, right?
No.
I mean,
no, that doesn't even sound right.
I mean, you gotta be kidding me. This is the dumbest thing I have ever heard of in my life. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. You know what I would rather do? I'd rather go home and say, hey, 4-year-old daughter, give me a nickname for our team. And she said, Daddy, what about the Barons? Very good. I'm going to work tomorrow and tell them you just named our team. We're going to be the Washington Barons or whatever name she came up with. I'd rather see him do that than doing this kind of mess. I mean, this is retarded. This is the dumbest franchise ever. Ever. I mean, you should be embarrassed, Irv. That's your team. That's Jason's squad. Both y'all should be up here. Jason, bring your ass on here if you want to. That is terrible. Look at these names they got on here. Aces, ambassadors,
I'm a 49er fan. I ain't no affiliation with that Washington. Slow down now. Slow down.
anchors, archers, armada. Oh my God! But oh my God! Stop! Who likes any icons? Oh my God! Griffins. Oh my God! Look at that! Oh my God! Red Hogs. Okay.
The president. That's what I said. The presidents.
You're gonna go from Redskins to Red Hogs. Yeah, that's gonna work out real good. Warriors, the Washington Warriors.
That's not.
Man,
That's
that is awful. That's an awful list. They need to burn that list and stuff. Leave it football team. Shit. If you gonna pick between those teams there, just leave it like it is and just keep it moving. I mean, that is a terrible list. Whoever put that list
I like the Washington D.C. Football Club. I like that one.
Yeah, I know, because you're a soccer head. But anyway, what a terrible way to end this segment, and that is awful. That is awful, but it is what it is. All right, folks, we got a couple minutes left, real quick. Let's talk about. Irv, bless your heart.
the district dog.
Bless your heart, Irv. I know you up there. I know it's rough in the city right now, ain't it? In the chocolate city. They already had a guy dressing like pigs. Hog may be a contender. I hear you. Dude, Irv, bless your heart. I'm sorry, Irv. Look, Irv, I'm going to get you in on this last little thing we got here. Is there any need for us to see a McGregor Porier 4? Is there any need for that? I mean, Conor McGregor came out the other night. If you didn't see it, I didn't see it. I would never pay for that kind of stuff. My son and them watched it, told me about it. I've seen the replay and him shattering his ankle and then screaming obscenities and all that other stuff. Is there any need for us to see this fight again between the two of these people? Irv, I'm gonna let you go first. Oh, Irv is still stuck in motion there. Miss Carey, talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not a fan of the same fighters fighting over and over again. They're just getting their money at the end of the day. I don't know that we need to see a 4.
Amen. I'm with you. Travis.
Yeah, I don't need to see it 4. I didn't watch 3, 2, or 1. So I read about it that night about what happened. I was like, oh damn, that sucks for Conor McGregor, and this may be the end of his UFC career ever. And if that's the case, it sucks because I always liked watching him fight when he first started. When I didn't watch him, but I don't ever need to see him fight ever again, especially Dustin Poirier.
I agree with you on that. I mean, he made $180 million last year. I mean, to put that in reference, LeBron James made $96 million last year. Conor McGregor he sold his whatever that damn drink he sells, whiskey he sells, that number 12, whatever. He sold that stuff for 180 or part of his $180 million that he accumulated last year. More money than anybody he made last year. And that's insane. But he was screaming obscenities to Porier while he's laying there with his ankle shattered, saying that his wife was DMing him and all this other stuff and all kind of ridiculous stuff. And Dana White's already said there's probably going to be a 4. So look for that to happen. But guys, if you've never seen that before, he got his kick checked. And when somebody checks your kick like that does seem to happen from time to time. So, I mean, that was ugly to watch and ugly to see. It apparently was already broken when he kicked, and then he went back and tried to stand on it, and it just crumbled. And it's tough to watch. I mean, if like Miss Carey just did, it's tough if you don't have very strong stomach, or if you're not used to watching that. I mean, I've watched it over and over and over again because I've seen it so many times. And, you're just trying to analyze it and kind of critique it and all that kind of stuff. But I don't need to see that again. I hope we don't see that.
So he did it on a kick?
Yeah. When he kicked, then a lot of times you'll raise your leg and he'll kick you on your knee or kick you on your tough part of your leg, and it shatters that bone. And it happened to Chris Weidman the other night in the last UFC pay-per-view. The same thing happened to him. And he didn't realize it. And his leg was broken, and you could clearly see it was broken. And he tried to stand on it, and then he crumbled because, like I said, it had already shattered. But your adrenaline is up so high and everything else, you can't even tell it. And then he went back and tried to plan on it and just crumbled to the ground. So, but in any event, I had something similar happen to me when I was playing ninth grade football, and so I know that feeling. And my leg actually was broken in 4 places at the time, and it's just a bad thing. Stop it. I don't know why you do me like that, Jay. That's way back in the day. But Lowndes County representing, baby, in the hills. Lowndes County in the building. That's right. That's me and my buddy Tyrone Crittenden.
Which one are you?
Back in the day. I'm on the left in the gray jacket. And that is Tyrone Crittenden. Tyrone and I played baseball together back in the.
I see your belly button poking out.
Whatever. You don't see my belly button. I got an Audi, and you can't even see that in that picture.
Put that picture back up. You have a half shirt on.
Folks, we got to get out of here. Come on up here, Jay.
That's a belly button right there.
Whatever. Come on in, Jason. And let's shut this thing down. I don't know where Jason be finding that mess from. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. Jason, I want you to bring some of your pictures on here. Everybody can see you running track.
Urban may got the tapes. I ain't got the tapes. He got them. I'll show him.
I hear you. Anyway, folks, we appreciate everybody being on here. Mr. Porier said demon cats sounds like the SNL. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, he did say it sounds like the SNL name. That is funny. Anyway, folks, we got to get out here. Jason again. Jason's here, y'all. Thank Jason for all. Jason, I love all that stuff you do in the background. That's amazing. How quick you are finding that stuff and putting it out there and whatnot. So we want to thank you as always for being there. Miss Carrie, thank you again for being here. Travis, give me that data I'm looking for, baby. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about this lack of running games is necessary. Just throw the ball. All you got to do is just drop back and just throw. And you guaranteed we just throw the ball all over the field. Man, please, you didn't win no damn football game like that. I guarantee you that.
So
anyway, folks, we got to get out of here.
The 2019 Kansas City Chiefs who won the Super Bowl only rushed as an entire team 1,569 yards. Their leading rusher didn't have 500 yards for the whole season.
Who didn't have 500 yards?
The leading rusher did not have 500 yards.
Who was the leading rusher?
Damian Williams.
Who is that?
Exactly.
Anyway,
okay.
Let's get out of here. Folks, we'll see y'all next week. Good night, Miss Francis.
Straight from the hip.
Thank you guys for watching. We will see you all next week.